We do some asparagus, we do strawberries, that leads into blueberries, raspberries, and then peaches, and then pumpkin, squash, and apples and cider in the fall is the big things. But with all of those crops, you can rotate your crops so that your diseases and your pests don't just build up in the soil, because you're cropping the same crop over and over. I would say about half of the products that we use are organic, certified organic products. Every chance we get to use one, we do. We use, for instance, pheromone disruption to control insects. It's basically every year you go out into the orchard and you tie throughout the orchard these little, they have like pheromone chemicals, which means the male insect smells that, he thinks it's a female. He gets confused because there's all the pheromone of the female scent all over, and he can't find her, so then they can't mate. So then hopefully, you're cutting down on your population that you will have potentially sprayed for. And so now you've cut down on a lot of the need to spray. We definitely do soil testing frequently so that we're not over fertilizing the soil. We can't, we prefer to spend our money elsewhere than in unneeded fertilizers, but also we don't want that running into the creeks and running out into the lake. My main concern with water these days is the mega pipelines that they're trying to force through this area to carry gas from eastern Ohio up into Canada. It's a company that's just trying to take everyone's land so that they can basically just export gas. And the problem does not just lie in, okay, they want to use your land. There's always, more than meets the eye. And the real problem is, even the people that aren't directly affected, like say it's going through your farm and they're negotiating some type of price to, compensate you for that. Well, hundreds of people that are never going to be compensated because it's not touching their land are going to lose their water because it's cutting through the aquifer that feeds hundreds of homes and farms. If you don't buy locally, and not just food, but especially food, but if you don't buy locally, pretty soon there aren't going to be any local choices. And then, I didn't like the feeling that I had last couple months ago when I walked into Kroger's down the street here and there was no lettuce available to me because of a huge recall. And I thought, wow, that's pretty scary. When people walk in here, they can see my husband or myself. They can ask me a question. Do you use this chemical? Do you spray this? What are your practices? They can ask me anything they want and they can get an answer about how their food is being produced. Or if they want, they can go out and they can pick it themselves. If they're concerned about listeria contamination or salmonella in a huge factory, they can just go and pick it themselves and put it in their own freezer, and they have eliminated that worry. If no one stops at the small farms, pretty soon we're just going to be at the mercy of importing, from China, from Chile, from Mexico, from wherever, and we're just going to be at the mercy of, practices that we really don't know much about. Most of our crop of apples we sell within 6 weekends, really, from mid-September to the end of October. And if the weather isn't just right, or if there's a huge 5K going on in Toledo, or if there's something that didn't quite work out, and we don't get the customers coming in that particular weekend, that really hurts a lot. I do feel that people are out of touch with the crops that are grown in their own region. I really do. If you have a family recipe or anything that connects you, I just feel that it's important to me that my food that's grown around me connects me, and just kind of that you pass those recipes down through generations, and that I just feel that that's important, And I guess when you grow a lot of different apples and you see a lot of different people coming through the doors and all their different reactions, you see the whole gamut of people that, hold that dearly and people that don't. For those that are interested and that they want to talk to you about it, it's fun to kind of educate people on different varieties and varieties that are important to us here in this area and different recipes that they can try, and it's kind of fun to see people get excited about that. It's just fun to get away from the boring, the monoclimate of food that's in the grocery store, and it's just, that saddens me, I guess, to see that, and it does excite me to see people come out, and participate in that and enjoy it.